We hear that word a lot. Holy God, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Holy relics, the Holy Catholic Church, the Holy Reverend, whatever. What does it mean? What does holy mean? I can bet some holy other things, but holy cow, for one thing. What does it mean? What do you have an interactive portion of the sermon tonight? What do you think of when you hear the word holy? Anybody?
Sanctified, to be set apart.
Sanctified, to be set apart. What else? What comes to mind?
Pure.
Huh?
Pure.
Pure?
Revered.
Revered.
Worthy being praised.
Worthy being praised. How about church? Does that come to mind? Catholics out there, you should know this. You hear holy all the time. Everything is holy. Holy water. The Holy Communion. It's out there. What is a Holy Church of St. Rose or something or another? I've heard of that. We hear this word, we use it a lot, but what does it really mean? And what is it all about? We're going to read a couple verses of 1 Peter chapter 1. We're still in chapter 1. We were in chapter 1 last week. We're going to be in chapter 1 this morning, this evening. When PC preached part of my sermon this morning, part of last week's sermon this morning, I'm a little thrown off, so I may have done it this morning too. Anyway, we're coming out of 1 Peter chapter 1, starting with verse 13. And we're going to see some things that are interesting. It says, therefore, prepare your minds for action. Discipline yourselves. Set all your hope on the grace that Jesus Christ will bring you when he is revealed. Like obedient children, do not be conformed to the desires that you formerly had in ignorance. Instead, as he who called you is holy, be holy yourselves in all your conduct. For it is written, you shall be holy, for I am holy. Jim hit the nail on the head when he said you're sanctified, you're set apart. Holiness means sanctified. Sanctified means that you're set apart for a holy purpose. When we talk about God and we say God is holy, this is true. This is more true than we ever know. Okay, so if God is holy and he's set apart from us, what does that really mean? And my systematic theology professor at North Greenville College, Dr. Walter Johnson, if you happen to ever watch this, I got to cite my sources. He presented this definition of holy when we talk about God. That God is holy, W-H-O-L-L-Y, other than. That means he is completely different than us, than anything else. He is completely different, wholly other than. And now we read in St. Peter where it says, God says, be holy because I am holy. So I'm supposed to be holy like God is holy? You mean I'm supposed to be like God? I can be like God? Exactly? Different? Completely other than? Then I can be the same as God? Well, sort of. Not exactly. We're not going to twist Scripture to say that I can be God. But he says God has called us to be holy. The first time it says it is written, if you like to be a cross-reference individual, Leviticus chapter 11, verse 44 is where Peter gets this from. And it is written, and that says, you will be holy, for I am holy. But he's talking to the Jews. He was talking in the law. And the context that we first see this phrase in Leviticus is when he's talking about the dietary laws and what animals we should eat, or the Jews were allowed to eat, what animals they shouldn't eat, and what things they should do and what things they shouldn't do. They were called to live different than the people around them. They were called to be set apart from the people around them. They were to be wholly different than the rest of the world. They shouldn't go chasing after other gods, other witchcrafts, or other pagan practices. They had to be different to be an example for God. They were the only nation that had one God. They were the only nation that weren't allowed to make idols to their God. They were the only nation not allowed to engrave images. They were the only nation not allowed to eat certain things like pigs or other flying animals of ill repute. Or pigs don't fly, but don't. The end of the world happens when pigs fly, so we are talking about the end of the world. So they were called to look different, live different. They were the only ones who were called to circumcise. And I'm not going to go into all the gory details of what that's all about. But they were called to be set apart, to look different, to act different, to be different. Yeah, they could sound some, because they were the chosen people of God. Fast forward to Peter. And Peter gives us the same command. Not that we have to follow the dietary laws. Good Lord, if we had to follow the dietary laws of the Jews, and that apple pie with the bacon on top of it that some of us really are desiring would never be on the menu. I mean, the bacon-wrapped sausage that we were talking about earlier today. There's a sausage that they wrap in, a 3-pound sausage that they wrap in bacon and then they bake it. And to me, that sounds like a heart attack waiting to happen, or at least all-night acid reflux, you know. But to some people, they're thinking, man, I got to try that. That would not be allowed. We can eat that. But we're not talking about strict dietary laws. We're not talking about following rules and legalistic versions of Christianity. Because, guys, I don't like legalistic versions of Christianity. Let me tell you, there's something that canceled out legalistic rules of Christianity, and that's called grace.